speak no Spanish, let's be talking queso.
Hey, what up, everybody? I want to say sorry again for the coverage. We did not post this week. We were supposed to do our opening show, but I wanted to hit you with something, give you a little treat of what is to come with our show. So right now, you all already know who Gil is, Trackstarz sports representative, but we got our best friend here. One of the guys that helped us was helping us on our spiritual journey and helped us on our spiritual journey. I got my dog Greg here. He knows all things basketball.
Most things.
All things basketball.
He knows a little bit about a lot.
He just salty because I won't put Kobe in my
knows
top 10.
That means you know nothing about basketball.
I know most things.
A little bit about a lot.
Well, he knows a lot. Honestly, I get a lot of my knowledge from him. There are a lot of arguments between him and I when it comes down to basketball, or sometimes we just agree and we're like, yeah, that is smart. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so
Rarely.
Today's topics are just three simple topics. One is we're talking about T.O., and you see his emoji right here, the little T.O. at the bottom. And then we're going to talk about LeBron James, where he's going. It's going to be right here in front of Greg. Greg, can you point at it? Just point there. All right, and then we're going to talk about who is next in college football. So let's talk LeBron, man. What's going on? What you got, Greg?
Man, so LeBron to me is complex because, like we talked about already, LeBron does not want to play in the West. Mm-hmm. LeBron does not, in my experience, want to play with a super strong coach. Mm-hmm. All those coaches in the West, for the most part, by the way. But there's not many teams in the East for him to go to.
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to go to Philly because Ben Simmons is in Philly, and Ben Simmons and him are the same player. He's not going to have the ball in his hands all the time. There's really not any other landing places for him to go. I personally would like to see him go to Washington, but I don't think he can afford to go to Washington. Yeah, I think LeBron does not play well with great bigs. Mm-hmm. He turned Chris Bosh to a shooter. He turned Kevin Love into a shooter. But when he played with Wade still played well. We played with Kyrie still played well. Mm-hmm. And Washington's best player is a point guard and a shooting guard.
Okay.
So I feel like LeBron will be able to mesh there. And Scott Brooks is not a super strong coach, in my opinion. So, but I don't think LeBron's going there. That's not even in the conversation. I don't think he's going anywhere in the West, like I said, because I don't think he wants that smoke to play in the West all year. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, in my personal opinion, I think that the only way he has a chance to get another championship is if he goes to the West, if he goes to Houston, which it looks like he might go. You know, to me, I mean, all the reports are saying, hey, Houston is up there on the list, along with the Lakers, along with other, I guess Philadelphia, New York is in the mix now, and I mean, I think New York would be a perfect spot for him, honestly, because he got Porzingis. Porzingis is already a shooter, and he's a big, so you know he can do the rebounding and he can do the shooting. What you got?
You just want to see him go to New York.
Yes, that's all I want to do.
Both of you guys are absolutely wrong. LeBron James is coming back to the 305, and this is why. Washington, no.
I don't think he's going there. I just would like to
Houston,
see it.
Let's talk about legacy. LeBron's legacy will be tarnished if he goes back to a super team.
I agree.
I feel like what James Harden, Chris Paul, what they got going on
is their thing.
Yeah.
And they arguably could have been there already if Chris Paul never got hurt.
Paul had not,
so they don't really need LeBron.
Exactly. But the same can be said with Golden State. They won 73 games. Still added Kevin Durant.
Well, that was their default.
Who knows? But I think LeBron goes back to Miami. One, it's Miami. Who doesn't like Miami? Like, come on, you've been in Cleveland for 4 years. It's Miami is love. Miami is paradise. Come on back home, LeBron. Come on. And we have the cap space. Let's talk about cap space.
Yeah, y'all do
have the cap space.
Spurs.
Wait, hold on. Y'all still got what's that boy name?
Who?
Hassan Whiteside. Didn't they just sign him a big contract?
Yeah, but he's the only major contract they got.
Yeah, we have enough cap space to sign 2 supermax contracts, so we can add LeBron and possibly Kawhi Leonard.
You think Kawhi Leonard?
No, they're not gonna do it because they both play the same position.
But if LeBron tells you, "Come on," you coming.
Nah.
It's proven.
Well, look,
It's
I
proven.
think Greg will go play with LeBron and Bron Coughlin.
I don't think Kawhi moved like that though.
Why? Why don't you think Kawhi moves like that?
Well, once again, because him and LeBron play the exact same position.
Okay.
And two, Kawhi does not seem like the type to go for big stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
I don't think he's allured by the flashiness and whatnot.
But is he allured by the championship?
He's not going to win a championship with LeBron because they play the same position. That's not going to work.
But listen, LeBron can play 1 through 5. Can he not?
No, he can, but he's not going to.
I believe he would. If Kawhi Leonard says, "Hey, I want to maintain the 3, you take the 4 or 5."
Nope.
Even LeBron can even play the 1.
Yeah, he can.
I feel like he can be a full-time starter at the 1.
He can.
Yeah.
He's not going to. He's going to start at the 3 like he always has.
Yeah.
He's been doing it 15 years. I don't think he's going to switch it up now
Hey.
for the sake of Kawhi.
Well, one thing. I honestly think he's going to make the move. He's not going to stay in Cleveland. That's for sure.
Right.
So all y'all Cleveland fans, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's tough for y'all right
Sorry.
now. Y'all go ahead and
Blame
get y'all
J.R.
matches.
Smith. Blame J.R. Smith.
Yeah. Y'all go ahead and light them matches now. I know y'all going to be out there burning his jersey. The whole world going to be laughing. Y'all be all right.
All right. So the next next topic is, well, I think he's a great wide receiver. He's not the greatest wide receiver, but T.O. So T.O. recently said, "Hey, I don't want to go to the Hall of Fame. I don't want to be celebrated by anybody that didn't want to celebrate me first." So right now we're trying to see, what these two think about it. I'm pretty sure they got something to say about it. What you got for us, Gil? We'll let you start it off this time.
T.O. He is one of the,
He's one of the, but not
yeah. Arguably, he's a close second to Jerry Rice. Let's get that out of there. I don't blame him for not wanting to, participate in the whole Hall of Fame, shenanigans or whatever. Because, man, he was nominated, the past 3 seasons? And they didn't want to let him in because of his shenanigans, quote unquote. So, honestly, when you put up stats, you cannot like me, that's fine. But if I go in and day out and give you my best and you still don't acknowledge that because you don't like my personality, I don't blame him. I honestly don't blame him. I feel like, okay, you didn't want me the first 2 times. I'm not going to go the second, third time. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I think it's a generational thing. Because, back in the day, I feel like, older cats would have went, even if they felt like people were sizing them and stuff, just because there's something for them about the tradition of you get the invitation, you go. But I think now in the newer generation, guys they don't really care for tradition like that. That it's all about authenticity and whatnot. And I do think that from T.O. perspective, he will be putting on. Cause them people, them the same people that was like, oh, he bad for the league and da 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 da.
My God.
And now I gotta go smile in front of all. Thank y'all so much for letting me get this honor.
Okay. So I'm about to throw him a curveball because he said something that I wanted to touch on. I had actually read something about this earlier. I was doing my Bible lesson this morning. I was in Judges, and hey, look, guys, read your Bibles in the morning, man. It helps you out. Anyway, I wanted to know.
T.O.'s and Judges.
Talking about tradition, Jesus, he did away with a lot of traditions, man. How would you equate Owens' situation to a biblical view?
Yeah, so the thing with Jesus is, so one thing we got to understand with traditions in the Old Testament is theologians use this word called types. You know what I'm saying? One example, Romans 5 calls, around verse 12, calls Adam a type of the one who was to come, saying Adam he was his own man, he did his own thing, but he was kind of a foreshadow of the one who was to come, that one being Christ. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the traditions in Jesus' day, some of them were typical, and some of them were just self-imposed by men. And so, he gets into it with people in Mark 7 because they oh, you know what I'm saying, your disciples don't do the little ceremonial washing before they eat their food. Your boy's dirty. And Jesus is well, y'all don't even keep the 5th commandment. So don't come at my guys for not keeping y'all self-imposed tradition when y'all don't even keep the holy tradition of just simple obedience to God's law. Mm-hmm. And so I think what it really comes down to is, and then the last thing is that the ones that do that aren't self-imposed, they're there because they're foreshadowing something that Christ would do. So when you think the festival days, you know, these are days where people are remembering something about redemption that has happened in the past. If you look in the Old Testament with the feasts or whatnot, that's kind of foreshadowing the joy and the celebration of the new covenant, where we have the privilege of fellowshipping with God, not just on a feast day, right, where we come into God's presence, but because we have the presence of the Spirit, we can celebrate with God every day. You know, the sacrifices prefigure Christ's ultimate sacrifice, and all of that. So I think it really comes down to, is the tradition moral? Is it right in and of itself, or is it self-imposed? You know what I'm saying?
So if I can say T.O. is doing it for a moral reason that he's like, I'm not going to do it.
I think he's dealing with
self-imposed.
I think he's dealing with what would be kind of. I think honestly, just on the surface level, I ain't sit down and like, oh, I'm gonna ponder through this whole thing. But on surface level, it seems like he's talking about a situation that's really the expectation for you to go to the ceremony is kind of self-imposed.
Yeah.
You know, you have to go because we invited you. You know what I'm saying? And on the front end, that seems self-imposed. Now, there could be a moral behind it of gratitude and what gratitude looks like. But the question is, well, could T.O. still be grateful and not go? Yeah. Because gratitude is a moral reason, right? And if you think T.O. can be grateful and still not go, then he don't have to go. But if he must go to show gratitude, then yeah, you're gonna think that's more moral. But I think it's definitely seems like it's a more self-imposed expectation from people, and not necessarily, you know, like I ain't nobody finna say T.O. going to hell because he ain't gonna talk to them. That's really what it come down to. If you can't say somebody going to hell for doing it, then it's probably not moral. So,
and I also want to add, if I can, what I think T.O. is doing is, like you say, it's self-imposed, but the whole grand spectrum of it all, like the NFL is not, you know, it's
they don't know what they want to do.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, they don't know who they are identity-wise.
I don't think they know who they are.
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like they're finally letting us know who they are.
Right.
Wow.
Because one, you can't kneel for the national anthem. Or you will
when the vice president giving you a round of applause for a decision you made. We see who you leaning, who you rocking with.
Exactly. So I feel like the NFL is finally rearing its ugly face, and the fact that T.O. and like you said, self-imposement, but it's also a great honor. It's like, whoa, I worked so hard to get here, and they're finally recognizing my accomplishments. But look who I did it for.
Exactly.
So the moral of it, I don't know if it equates to any Bible verse, but the morality of it is, I understand where he's coming from. Yeah. And I applaud him for not, taking the jigaboo route. If I can say that in church, I apologize.
Hey, first off, shout out to Unity Baptist. This is where we at. Shout out to Unity Baptist.
Shout out to y'all. Hey. He's not going for it. So I commend him. Like, T.O., keep doing your thing.
All right, so the last thing that we're going to talk about, and it's just going to be quick picks, man. So, college football is around the corner. I'm sorry, but I don't know if Florida State's ready.
I don't know either.
They're not ready.
He in Miami. He posted
it's cool. It's cool. We still chopping here.
I think y'all look good, though. I think Miami.
You don't have to think. You should know. You should know.
Well, here's the thing. So I have to predict the top four. That's going to be I guess when the first round of the playoffs starts, when they're like, hey, first four that's going to come in. And I got my first four already. I think, of course, I got first four is going to be Alabama. It's also going to be Georgia. And then I got Notre Dame. And then I have call me suspect, I don't care. I have USC.
I thought about USC.
Because people don't understand, man. They got this kid named Ahmad Ra St. Brown. Look him up.
That's a lot of names.
You know what? I'm throwing a highlight at the end of this video. There's going to be a highlight of him at the end of the video.
Enlighten me. That's a...
Hey. And make sure you subscribe, too. But, highlight at the end of the video. Who you got?
Mine is pretty close to yours. I got, Alabama. I got Georgia. I'm suspect on USC. I kind of feel like I'm thinking USC because I don't know how many people they really got in their way that's gonna keep them from that. You know what I'm saying? So that's thinking, and just because I got to ride with my guys, I'm putting Florida State there. But I will admit, you know, I think this year with Florida State could either be really good or really bad.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a 9-3 season. I think it's either going to be like, you know, 11-1, 10-2, or it's going to be another season like last season. So, you know, but if we handle business and if the guys go out and play, we definitely got the talent. Yeah. That's not going to be the problem.
Okay.
What you got, my friend?
All right. Listen.
People say Miami.
No.
Dial-on.
Right. Dial-on. Listen. I'm not going to be biased. Obviously, Nick Saban is college football god, if you want to put it that way. But I think the title comes back to the ACC. I have Alabama. I have Clemson. Of course, I got to put the U in. This is why, like, a lot of people are kind of like on my case about the University of Miami. But if we can continue to, you know, keep that momentum we had last year into this year,
it's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna be more than a problem. The U might be back. The U might be back. The U might be back. Exactly. And for the fourth, it's a toss up between Georgia. I want to say Ohio State. Toss up.
I forgot about Ohio State.
Yeah, you can't forget
they ain't
about
got nobody really challenging them except Michigan State every year. So that's not a bad.
But I mean, that's never bad.
That's
never bad. Like, and Penn State gave them, you know,
they did give them
for their money.
Penn State's good every 4 years.
Yeah.
That's what it feel like. I played a team in high school like that. All them boys play together, they trash, and then they senior year, everybody, all their powers combined, and then they raw. It resets. So Penn State might be trash this year. Well, I mean, we'll see.
They could be. I don't know, but I just know, like, Miami, man, we're rolling. Shout out to Mark Rich. Shout out to Amon Richards. Make sure you put his highlights up.
Amon Richards,
this guy. Listen,
you're gonna see the name pop up right here.
He's a receiver. Last year he was kind of out of commission. He had a hamstring issue. You know how that goes when you're a receiver. You can't use your hamstring. Your 4.3 goes maybe 4.7. You know, you're not used.
And now you playing tender. Exactly. Had the hamstring issue.
Exactly. And you see what happened.
He ran a 4.5.
Yeah.
He still ran a 4.5.
He got game speed.
Yeah.
He probably faster than that, though.
I don't think he's faster than 4.5. He's what, 220?
210.
He's 210?
Yeah, he's not that heavy.
What? He looks like a pit bull.
He's 210. Your boy McCaffrey, he's 205, and your boy 240.
McCaffrey is 6. Yeah, but he's like 6'2", right?
No, he's like 5'11".
McCaffrey?
Yeah.
He looks like he's like
his
dad was like 6'6", right? Playing receiver.
No, his dad was 6.
And McCaffrey was
like 6. He was like 6'2", 6'1", maybe.
And McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, guys, hey man, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for checking us out, man. Keep the conversation going. Tell me how you feel. Tell me what's going on, man. I want to thank Greg for coming out, man. I really appreciate my brother, man.
Always.
I'm gonna have to get him. He might have to be a permanent on this show.
Right.
He might have to be a permanand.
Sports and the Bible together.
I mean that's what we do anyway. Trackstarz Sports. You know, shout out to the gang. And I want to give a shout out to one of our ministers, one of our deacons, Deacon Jones. He helped us out with the camera work today. So shout out him. Thank you. And then I want to give a shout out to my co-host of In the Field Lunch Break. You know, man, it's going down, man. It's going down, man.
Major way.
Look, man, thank you so much, man. And I'm out.
Smith & Wesson, spit that Smith & Wesson, yeah, kill to your soul, feel. Oh, Smith & Wesson, spit that Smith & Wesson, get that kill to your soul, feel heaven. Soul food, come get your blessing. I told you, come get your blessing, yeah. Smith & Wesson, spit that Smith & Wesson, give you that kill to your soul, feel heaven. Yeah, soul food, come get your blessing. I'm tryna. Yeah, I told you, come get your blessing, yeah. AK second letter with my range though. yeah. I feel fly as TSA in plain clothes, yeah. It's these bitchy rappers swear they canes, though, yeah. Sun came out and dried up all they rain, no. I SoundCloud high, streaming the track and you can spot the fire emoji, cause I'm living all I got. Boy, I'm really living more than sentimental. Put it in the middle of an instrumental, every jot and tittle. From my brother Pistol Riddle, with the riddles of the father's vision, boy, I know you heard me go up. Sorry for all the hold up, yeah. In the lab now with Cobra, yeah. Tempo, homie, that's my quota. That album coming soon, Natalie, that's no lie. Smith & Wesson,